everybody. Welcome to day one. I'm glad you're all here. So today is day one, and what we're going to be doing today, so I'll be giving you some general information and then some action items to be thinking about following some of the stuff that we've talked about or some of the stuff that we'll be sitting in. So that's how each day will sort of be set up. You'll have a video and then you'll have some written up information that I'll be sharing. So for today, I wanted us to think about what are the things that we want to shift in our business and give you a way to think about what change looks like. Because I think when we initially think about change, we think of action, and those action is important. We also need to think about the way we're thinking about things, and that can be kind of change in the positive direction too. And actually some of the things we need to do before we'll see some type of, I'll say, like behavioral change as applied to our business. So the first thing I wanted you guys to think about that, kind of redefine like what change might look like in assessing if you've been successful at this change or not, because again, success can be changing the way we think about things. And of course it'll be changing, hopefully, something we might be doing. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, and I actually talk about this with clients and with students, is it's called the Stages of Change model. So it talks about 5 different stages that we go through for behavioral change. And I offer this to you to provide you a different perspective for, again, like what change looks like as it applies to ourselves. So the 5 stages, I'm going to explain this and then kind of explain like why this is important and why I share this. So there's pre-contemplation. That is, you have no idea that you actually want to change something. So you have no idea there's a real problem. You don't really know, there's nothing on the radar screen with changing anything. It's like things are fine the way they are. Contemplation, you start to be aware that you want to change some things, but you may not be 100% sure what that looks like or how it might happen, but maybe you've gotten some feedback, and that could be feedback of like nobody's buying things, or maybe someone's shared something with you of like your graphics look this way. And so I don't know, there's something there that's making you feel like, I wonder if I need to shift something, but you're not 100% motivated to do it yet. So it's just kind of out there on your radar screen. The next stage is preparation. At this point, this is stage 3, you're saying to yourself, I'm kind of aware there is a problem, and I'm not happy with the way things are right now. So again, that could be you've been doing, again, following the rules. I feel like I meet with a lot of people that have been following the rules, doing what they think they should be doing, but they feel like there's a disconnect. So they feel like, I don't feel like what I'm doing fully represents who I am. I don't feel like what I'm doing fully represents my potential. And I feel like there must be something going on that why people aren't purchasing what I'm doing. So there's something there. We may not be able to 100% identify it yet, but there's something there. And in the preparation stage, you're trying to make plans and you're trying to think about with thought, like, what do I need to be doing differently to shift something for myself? So you're making plans for that. I'm going to hire a mentor. I'm going to get this type of feedback. I'm going to read this book. I'm going to listen to these podcasts, try to get some more information. I'm going to talk to my clients and see what they're thinking. So you're making a plan for what you're going to do to help you understand the problem. Finally, the 4th stage is action. Now, this is where people usually jump in and say, well, like, I'm not doing anything because I don't see some kind of behavioral change or action. You know, people aren't buying more. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But maybe you've been setting the stage for this to happen and just need to be a little bit patient through the process. So maybe you've been thinking about things a little differently, setting the stage for things to be different. Finally, action. And so I know it's like people want to jump into the impatient part of like, we want action, we measure change by the action we see. But in reality, you need all these other stages to get to that action piece. And finally, the last stage is the 5th stage is maintenance. So just kind of maintaining behavioral change over time. We're not thinking about it. We're doing it naturally, whatever that might look like. Because I think we're all in different places with like what we're trying to do. So I wanted to offer that for you to redefine what change might look like in your business. So I'm not sure, again, like where every single person is at. I think we're probably at a bunch of different places, and that's totally fine. And think about how that might look like. How you can apply the stages of change model to what you're trying to do, or how you're trying to think differently about what you're doing. So, and I think I want you to honor and give credit to yourself where, you've been trying to do things a little bit different. So maybe you're in the preparation stage and you haven't taken action yet, but that's good because you're starting to prepare yourself to do things different by having these conversations right now, by thinking about things about related to like, well, what am I doing? And you may not have all the answers, which I know feels uncomfortable a little bit. That's okay, because you're setting the stage for there to be some very grounded differences in the way you might be sharing of yourself and conveying what you do and sharing what your true purpose is related to your business. So be thinking on that. Second, I have my computer up next to me so I don't forget anything. Second, and this is to summarize like what I want you to do today. So again, there's a lot of changes that need to happen prior to actual behavioral change. We need to honor and value, again, that process through time. Second thing I want you guys to do is share 1 or 2 things you're trying to change in your business. So it doesn't have to be just an action, but it could be mindset or thoughts. So 1 or 2 things you're trying to change in your business. And again, like why you feel like these either have been a struggle for you or why you feel like you want to change these things. So we're just trying to get an understanding of like, what does the landscape look like for each of us in what we're trying to do and what we're trying to shift for ourselves. So that is your challenge for day 1. Let me know if you have any questions and I will see you over in day 2. Have a great day, everybody.